So in part one, in this delicious conversation around war, you heard me talk about a machete. I don't want you to think that this is just a metaphor for something. I really want you to consider the possibility of you walking out of this moment and carrying with you a machete. A machete is something, it's a tool. In second and third world countries, it's seen to be or thought to be probably the most important tool. It's a household weapon. It is a clearer of paths. And more importantly, it is the one safety net that every family has and they learn to depend on, they learn to rely on, and it is universally accepted. A machete is what you need, but what's coming up next in this segment? Oh my gosh.
Hey you, welcome to Build the Damn Thing, a place where myself, Tiffany Largy, and our amazing Do the Damn Thing coaches show you how to use your story to build it all. Whether it's your first six figures, your next layer of multiple six figures, or maybe you're on your way to $1 million. And if it's not that, it's the life of your dreams, where you are free, you are strong, and you are whole. First, we're going to show you how to use your story to build a strong foundation. And then next, we're going to show you how to use your story in sales and marketing to clean up the cracks. And last but not least, we're going to show you how to use your story to gather people. Because truth of the matter is that there's nothing stronger than being connected to people who just understand you as you are, where you are, so you can stop explaining yourself. I want to remind you that now that you're here, you are home, and I officially welcome you to our family. All right, let's get started.
If you're politely taking a pair of scissors to the thing or things, or if you took a pair of scissors in the past to a thing, a place, and it could be more than a human. I've taken scissors. I've taken machetes to programs. I've taken machetes to departments. I've taken machetes to vendors. I've taken machetes to pieces and parts of myself. But it normally starts with some form of relation. If you took a pair of scissors or a little bit of a sharper butter knife to it in the past, I implore you, as you look to get lighter, to move faster, to go pick up a machete and go back to the thing. Yes, I said go back to the thing, to the place, to the time, to the item, to the relationship, to the phone call, to the text message, to the department, to the vendor, to the contract, to the parent, and pull out a flipping machete. Because it's really about your power. Everything that I have accomplished in the last 9 months is because I told myself I could, not because I had a path. On everything that I'm executing right now, all of it was impossible. All of it was impossible. And I mean financially impossible, physically impossible, emotionally impossible, team people impossible, all of it impossible. But I made a decision in October. I said to myself, you're either doing the damn thing or you're not. And I didn't make the decision by going, okay, let me figure this thing out. Because the truth is that the first 30 days, I was like, I don't see any way. I don't see how. But I'm going to keep moving forward because I already decided this is what I'm doing. Machete. You know, one of the greatest reminders of where I come from in my culture and who I am, as I share this part of my culture with you and this part of myself with you. My father slept with a machete next to his head forever. And I used to sleep with a machete next to me for as long as I can remember, a physical, actual machete. And in the Caribbean, you could be the poorest person ever, but you own two items to your name, no matter how poor you are, how country you are, how bushes you are. You own a machete and you own a Ray and Nephew bottle of rum. These two things, they're elements of life and longevity and survival. And the rum is not for drinking. The rum is specifically if someone gets a fever, someone's really sick because we can't afford to go to the doctor. There is no medicine woman. But these two items, I remember growing up all the time. And I remember asking my dad once, about the machete, even as he got older. Because as he got older, that machete was much closer. And I remember him telling me one day, even he's like, what did he say to me? I said, Daddy, why are you still sleeping with a machete? He said, because I'm good. I might need to chop someone one day. And I was like, you're right. Why was I asking the question? That's pretty black and white. He's like, I need to be ready. And he's right. If the machete was over there where it was safer, he won't be ready. He wants it right next to his head so that if something is going down, he can go down, grab it, and chop. Got it. Check. So then I put a machete next to my bed. The greatest part about that is that I then teach everybody who sees me, this is how I'm operating and this is how I'm rolling. And the importance of that is that I make it clear to any other entity that I know my strength and power. Don't try it. Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't push it. Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't push it. Don't fool with it. Don't do it. Don't push it. Don't try it. Don't fool with it. And don't play with me. Don't do it. And then what happens subconsciously to everybody who's around you, like the people who are on the inside of that machete, they then begin to echo what you're echoing. And they become different advocates for you. Because they're like, oh, this situation, don't do it, don't fool with it, don't play with it. Don't do it. Stay clear. And it's a way of you protecting yourself, but it's also a way of teaching the other people around you who you are and what you're about. Because at some point, they gained a perception of you when you didn't have the machete in your hand. They have a perception of you. They have an idea. Oh, you know what? We can ask Carmen because she'll do it. She'll do it. She's do it. She'll do it. You know what? We'll pick up let's call Chanel. Chanel will do it. And she'll only take $50 for it. They'll push it. They'll try it. The reason why I keep the machete, and then also why I make the machete public, because that's the other part about me. I'm going to make it public. I'm going to make it public. It's never going to be some behind the scene backdoor thing. And the reason why I want to make it public is because I'm going to teach you a lesson, and anyone else who thinks that they want to try something stupid. My statement to everybody is I am not the one. I'm not the one. I've had women in the past who have asked me questions like, my husband treats you differently than he treats me. And I'm like, why do you think that is? And the statement will be, well, he's very chauvinistic and he's very such and such and such and all of these other things. And I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. That's not my experience. And recently I got that question again. And my only response to her, as I sympathize and empathize with her as a woman, my statement to her was, because I don't let him treat me like that. That's why he doesn't do it. And I'll never forget this blank stare as she stared at me for a very long time. Very long time. Because we were in person and she's not a friend. This is in the business world. Her husband was in our space. I don't let him treat me like that. I don't let him. He might be a chauvinistic or all of those things to the world or to other women, but it is not happening here. Because I'm not the one. Whatever it is that I am, I have a responsibility to communicate that as much as I possibly can. And think of that the same way that I have taught over the years, you got to tell your story. It's actually, they go hand in hand. Because what I'm telling you is in line with my values. And if you were to peel back and ask yourself, am I on the inside of Tiffany's machete or the outside of Tiffany's machete? You can come up with an idea depending on, either how long you've been able to engage with us or our brand or our name. You'll know very quickly if you're on the inside or the outside of this thing. Because if you're on the inside, you know that I have a silent feeling of protection for you and want and desire to protect you. This communication, like the way I communicate my story for business and for marketing and sales of the companies we run, it's equally as important that I communicate my position to everybody. I am holding a machete. Now, in this, I'm not talking about a physical machete, even though 2 minutes ago after talking, I'm like, do I have a machete next to my bed? And I was like, I'm going to go pick up one or two. I got too comfortable. I definitely don't have a machete next to my head. And I'm like, who am I playing with? Why is there no machete? Why is there no machete? But I promise you, like, I think we have one in the trunk of the car. Anna carries one on the side in her truck. On the side, inside in her truck. In addition to, there's 2 knives, there's probably a gun, there's probably there's a crowbar. No, and when you sit in her truck, 5'5", dude, she's like, go ahead and try. Anna's like, go ahead and try. The crowbar is visible. The 2 knives are visible. I'm not exaggerating. And the machete is visible so that anybody who is near her knows, don't try. You're wasting your time. She's like, don't waste your time. Go full with the next person. Because if you and I go for it, I'm winning. I'm winning. It's a silent communication. The energy that we keep as women, and this is specifically for the woman, because I really, really need you to understand how important this is. We have a responsibility, especially as we get older, to communicate that statement. Don't try it. Don't fool with me. If we're going to battle, if we go to battle, I am going to win. What's true, my sister, my love affair, my best human ever, Aisha, we have all these crazy experiences, but it's funny how much we are alike in this. She believes in a very simple statement, and it's always like, and I do too. And I'm sharing this with you because I want it to sit with you for a while, because it comes from a place of knowing, which I feel like is my goal in the rest of my life for every woman. It's getting women, even though that's not the core of my world or business or work, as I get older and I've now helped hundreds of thousands of people, I always find a woman that is at my heart, because until she knows, she's a little bit lost. And we both share this statement, and I've heard her say it recently. Don't pull it out if you're not going to use it. Don't pull it out if you're not going to use it. It's a very serious statement. Don't pull it out if you're not going to use it. The other version of it is don't pull it out if you're not ready to use it. Because her statement and position on the planet is, I am ready and I stay ready. And if both of us are there, I'm walking out. That is the communication to the woman. That is the communication to the family member. That is the communication to a man. That is surely the communication to a man. That is the communication to foolishness, just foolish experience and foolish moments and stupidity and people who have dumb thoughts about what they may or may not be able to get away with. And the idea for a woman in getting and acquiring, being, becoming, indulging in more, I really, truly want to emphasize how important this is. And I'm going to challenge you after you take this in to entertain what does your machete look like? And I want you to visualize it in your hand. And I want you to make it public to the world. Because with that machete, that clarity, you'll cut through the next 6 months a whole lot faster. And you'll get to your goals a whole lot faster. And you'll get to you a whole lot faster.
I hope that episode was amazing for you and you are closer to building the damn thing. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts were, what part you loved, and the action that you're going to go take, because the truth of the matter is that the person who wins is not the person who gets there first. It's the person who takes action first. Now, I've got a gift for you, and it is at www.strappedhustle.com. It is imperative that you run there and you see all types of goodies, starting with the 7 must-haves that you've got to put when telling your story. There is so much deliciousness awaiting for you. I would love nothing more than for you to go ahead and give us a thumbs up and a 5-star review on not just this episode, but this entire series of How Do You Build the Damn Thing? Like always, if there's anything that we can do to make your week, day, or month better, please let us know. And more importantly, I can't wait to see you live. Whether it's at Do the Damn Thing Live or in one of our communities, or maybe you're just hanging out with us on social media. What I know to be true is that I am meant to connect with you somewhere, and I can't wait for that day to happen. And more importantly, I can't wait to see what you build.